Hey everyone, Symbiote here, and I am doing the 3x3 challenge. I was tagged by XSimSugar, and she's awesome, and if you haven't seen her video, you should go check it out. In fact, there are a lot of 3x3 challenges out there. Now, basically how it works is that you can spend any amount of money, and the video can be as long as you want it to. It's not a time challenge, but the house can only be 3 feet wide. Like, each segment of the house can only be 3 feet wide. So technically it's not actually a 3x3 challenge. Technically it's a whatever times 3 challenge, I guess you could say. So what I did is I took this opportunity. I really wanted to create a tiny house. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them. Tiny houses are just basically houses that take up very little space, and people have these. They're amazing. They somehow manage to manipulate space and create this really phenomenal living establishment, home, whatever you want to call it. I'm a little, post commentary isn't my strength, but this is going to be awesome. I'm going to do a good job. So yes, I wanted to recreate a tiny house, and some of the best tiny houses I've seen either look like hobbit holes from the Shire, or they are very modern. And I would say that for those of you who are familiar with my situation and how I'm not able to really go outside very much, I like modern architecture. I can't live in it, but I find modern houses with lots of windows to be really attractive, and I just think it came out pretty cool. Pretty cool. So hopefully you like it. I am going to put it up for download, but I haven't yet, and it should be by the time this video comes out, but I'm not 100% positive. So, okay, let's talk about the design here. Obviously, as I said, I'm going for a very modern look, and what I like to do when I'm building is really establish the overall structure before I get too much into before I get way too much into doing room by room. Like, I don't like building a house and then when I've built a section, then decorating it. I like to build the entire structure, get a feel for what it is, and then do the outside, like as you can see right now, and also then I'll go room by room on the inside. So I like building. I have not built much in The Sims 3, or excuse me, Sims 4 yet. I have built quite a bit in The Sims 3. I have, in The Sims 3, I would argue I came up with some pretty decent houses. If you haven't seen my speak wall, that house is one I'm particularly proud of. But ultimately, I was a little nervous about this because I wanted it to be something really special. And I just think that I'll try to post a link in the description if I remember, but I think that the tiny house thing is just really, really neat. And it proved difficult in The Sims 3 because obviously in real life you can, sorry, that was my medical alert bracelet. In real life you can place things more closely together than you can in The Sims 4. It's The Sims 4, it's not The Sims 3. Slap me in the mouth. Oh my god. You can place things more closely together. You can, spread things out a little bit better, obviously, and or put things closer, as I was saying, so that you can really fit a lot more. So in this situation, it proved difficult to establish everything that the Sim is gonna need in the home, while simultaneously making sure it was tiny, because that was the challenge I set for myself. Now, the color scheme and the overall design I emulated from, I don't know if you've seen the Mindy projects, I'm sure some of you have. I kind of wanted it to look like Mindy Cleary's house. I like that, I like the color and the texture, and I really like color blocking walls, making accent walls. I think that opens up the space a lot more, and I definitely wanted to go against dark colors. The only room that really has a dark color is the bedroom, as you'll see, and that's not even that dark. It's purple. It's a vibrant purple. But it's funny because actually in most situations a dark color will open up a space. Like, a lot of times people think that they can't use dark colors because it will make things look smaller. That's actually not the case. But I have found that in tiny houses, it will it will do that. Another thing I wanted to do was definitely make some contrasting colors. And I was incredibly indecisive. You'll see that it was like I changed the paint colors quite a bit. I went through and I was changing the appliance colors and all of that. Well, I mean specifically the counters and all of that. Ugh, wow. Derp. But yeah, I was incredibly indecisive, and I kept having to change the length of the house just to make sure I had enough space. And it was really just a matter of fiddling around. But I often find that working within parameters can be freeing. Like if you're given back when I was doing creative writing, oftentimes I would have a teacher just say, write whatever you want. And while yes, in some circumstances you have an idea and you know what you want to do, that's not always the case. And I think it can really stifle you. In this situation, being given the explicit instructions as to how this home should be spaced and things like that, that really, it gave me a clear vision of what I was going to do. So while there was a lot of fiddling around, and oh my god, it took me forever to figure out this damnable lamp thing. I was just going nuts. I was like, I want it different. You'll also probably notice a few little weird cuts in here. I am a compulsive saver. I did not want the game to crash. For those of you who use custom content in The Sims 4, I find that the custom content tends to be a little less persnickety. If your computer can handle a lot of polygons, you're definitely in good shape. But occasionally, even when I don't have custom content, occasionally the game just will randomly crash. That's probably something more going on with my computer than anything. But oh my god, I was so tempted. If we had weather and I could have made it snowy, I would have put up that wreath and called it Wreath Witherspoon, because that's what Mindy calls her Christmas wreath in the show. I don't know. I'm a nerd, but I enjoy it. Yeah, the shower thing was a little complicated. I don't particularly know if she's going to be able to use all of these things, but she should be able to. The thing about the windows is I was like, okay, can I stack these things? And ultimately what I landed on was creating a balance of modern appliances, modern fixtures, modern plumbing, modern furniture, and combining that with some modern elements and some sort of kitschy or antique elements. And I really think that the juxtaposition does something really cool. I think it came out really well. Of course, but I like it because it's mine. Of course I'm gonna like it. What did I land on there? Yeah, the swirly rug. That swirly rug is great. I do hope that as they release more content, they diversify the rugs a little bit, because I find that there aren't a lot of rugs that will fit. It's either you have very small or very large, and I didn't want to put a lot of carpet runners or anything. But yeah, I think this, I don't know. Looking at it again now, I'm very pleased. As I was making it, I wasn't totally sure. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased. But again, it's my building, so ideally I'm going to be pleased with it. For the outside, the paneling, well, the siding, I went with purple, and then I wanted a red roof because, as many of you know, red and purple is one of my favorite color combinations. And another thing that I was trying to do was to create I have to hiccup. Oh my god. I'm good. I was trying to create a flow in terms of the colors. So, like I didn't always pan out that way, because like the pink went into the green and all that, but I was trying to keep things in the same color families as it moved through the house. Like as you went further back, the colors became bolder and bolder in the bottom of the house. And then the opposite is true when you go upstairs. As you move towards the front of the house, you have the pastels, and then the colors become bolder as you pass into like the bedroom, which I don't know why that happened. I think I just felt like it. I didn't really notice it at the time. Oh god, I had so much trouble picking some of the fixtures on the walls because, like I said, I wanted that blend, and it was a little difficult to achieve because I got kind of impatient with myself, and then at one point my game crashed. But that's all pretty sorted out. Now I know that the music isn't actually, I'm going to put a stereo in here in a second. I know that the stereo is not going to really reach the rest of the house without speakers, but that's something I'm going to put in later if I do use this house, and I really think I will. I definitely, I don't even know if she's going to be able to use that bed because it said it was okay, but she probably can't get around the sides, but who knows? We'll see. I can't make the house wider. Although if I use it for an LP, I'll just make it wider because, whatever. I'm using it for an LP. But, I don't remember what I was saying. Hup, 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 hup. Oh, yeah. I definitely went out of my way to you'll see a lot of landscaping because I really feel as though, the lots that I had available are kind of on the large side, and it was imperative to me that I fill it out. I didn't want some sort of goofy looking house that was just sitting on a lot that didn't really mesh with anything. The color scheme I went for in the bedroom is I love contrasting colors, and every once in a while I just like to put a punch of something different. So like I've got a fleur-de-lis rug there, and that's in the blues, and then the purple and the gold. I particularly love blue and purple and gold. I really wanted the bedroom to be in a jewel tone. I wanted it to feel rich and just lovely. Because, like, again, you have that mixture of modern elements and light colors and all that. And I guess I'm just jealous of people who can... actually, I put that over a different rug, and I was like, okay, I better get rid of that rug. I'm jealous of people who can live in spaces like this, just because, like I said, my sensitivity to light. Although, I know a number of you ask frequently, there is a drug that is in testing currently, and it prevents attacks of the disorder I have. So that's pretty cool. I'm really pleased because it seems to be working well. So it looks like maybe in 5-10 years, I'll actually be able to go outside more. That's obviously a non sequitur, but whatever. I was going to put columns, and then I realized that with the tiny house structure and how modern that the exterior was going to be, and how I was going to soften it up with florals and landscaping, and I'm going to put a pool in a second, I realized that it wasn't really that big of a deal if I left it the way it is, and I think it came out well. Now I forgot to make the pool all 3 feet wide, but I figured that's okay because it was just a screw up. But part of it's 3 feet wide or 3 squares wide, and part of it's not. One of the things I loved the most about The Sims 3, and I'm glad that they have the terrain paints in here, is that it really allows you to make the space your own and special. The ultimate problem I have with the way that a lot of the terrain is painted is just the designers, they go out of their way to make sure that we have this sort of semi-blank canvas in order to... I was trying to see if I could do move objects on, and apparently I can't. But this sort of semi-blank canvas, obviously there's texture and depth to the grass there. Oh, that's Sydney. He's moving around. There's texture and depth to the grass and the layout. But in the end, you really have to paint the terrain if you want it to have that extra degree of depth. I went and I layered the rocks. I didn't realize you could layer the rocks so tightly, which was really cool. I think I will go ahead and start doing some more building in The Sims 4. Last time I tried to do a fair amount of building, I just wasn't pleased with how it came out. I was trying to make an art gallery that's had a Grecian feel, and it just wasn't panning out. And I think maybe it was a little too ambitious for my first project. Oh boy, here goes a lamp thing again. The lamps were really proved to be my biggest challenge, and I did get a little frustrated, but I think it ended up okay. Now, one of the big things is that I really like when I have a house, I like putting down clutter, and I love that the decor section actually has a category for clutter, because it lets you personalize the spaces quite a bit, and I think that's really cool. And you don't have to have a ton of custom content in order to achieve that, which you used to with The Sims 3 originally, you kind of had to have a fair amount of custom content if you wanted to achieve that. But really what it came down to was that I realized I didn't want a ton of clutter. It didn't seem like this space would have a ton of clutter. So I also decided, instead of making the huge sort of garden that I wanted to, I just decided I would go with a fair number of trees. I do like placing trees. I've got a hawthorn tree there. I can't remember what that other tree is. I thought about doing a hedge, but I didn't in the end. But I think it's a Japanese maple, the pink one. I can't remember. I did remember. But yeah, as you can see, I'm putting in some patchy grass. I am painting in some very light flowers and some dirt, and I wanted to mix the three colors of flowers available. And I always this is a thing, when you're hand painting the terrain, if you're going to be placing something under a tree, always put dirt near the center and then patchy grass as you go out further, and then only place the florals in areas where the sun is going to hit for the most part, obviously. I also like to line any patios or things like that with dirt, and any high traffic areas with dirt. What I did here was, obviously I was putting in more flowers, but then I realized, I was like, okay, these high traffic areas, they're going to be a little bit dirtier. So you'll see there's a section over here that I do not put any dirt on, and then this other section I did. And it's not super noticeable, but I felt like it really gave it an extra little bit of texture. So thank you so much for watching. I'm going to be finishing up here in a second. I really appreciate everything you do for me. Please remember to leave a like and a favorite and even a share on this video. It's super helpful, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments, whether or not you're thinking about downloading it. My name on the thing is S3 Symbiote. And also at the end here, you're going to see a link to my Patreon. I just started one. For $3 a month, you will have access to a Google Hangout once a month and all kinds of little pictures and stuff. And I'd really love for you to consider donating. If not, it's totally okay. And as always, my content, otherwise, my videos are going to be completely free. Thanks so much, and I will definitely see you next time. Bye!